Hi kids, I'm Storytime Pup, and welcome to the Storytime Pup Show. I'm so glad you came by to play. I love when my friends come by to play, and you're one of my friends. Are you ready to have fun? Let's see what we're going to do today. Magic marker, show us what we're going to do today. Yay! It's storybook time! We love storybook time! Well, hi kids, and thanks for coming over for today's book. Today I've got a fun book for you. Today's book is Snoodles in Space. A Snoodle, the Zoodle Kidoodles, and one happy Schmoodle. It's written by Stephen Joseph and illustrated by Andy Case. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started with this fun book. This is a story that takes place in the future. How far in the future, you may ask? Nobody really knows. It may be just around the corner. This was a world where the sky was always blue, the air was always clean, and everyone was happy. Everyone loved driving in their SnoodleMobiles, which ran on noodles. Not only was it the preferred mode of transportation, it also provided everyone with a delicious dinner when they came home from work. The Snoodle, which was the brainchild of Herbie Snoodleman, replaced the Krautmobile. The Krautmobile had been invented by Sour Croodleman and ran solely on sauerkraut. This made the Krautmobile rather stinky and everyone particularly cranky. However, when the Snoodle took over, Sour Croodleman went quickly out of business. After his Krautmobile business failed, Sour opened up a very successful cafe called the Wiener Schmoodle Cafe. The cafe was named after a poodle called Schmoodle, after Sour discovered that poodles love sauerkraut. Sour even got his own poodle named Schmoodle, who was the happiest poodle on the planet. You see, Schmoodle was provided with an endless supply of sauerkraut. What was not known to the general public was the fact that Herbie Snoodleman and Sour Croodleman were brothers. Sour stopped talking to Herbie after Herbie's Snoodle empire put Sour out of business. For a while, before he opened up his cafe, Sour was quite an unpopular figure. Sour even wore a Herbie Snoodleman disguise when out in public. Herbie and Sour had a third brother. His name was Norman Noodle. Norman Noodle and his wife Sally Stroodle ran the most popular pastry shop in all the land. It was called From Noodles to Stroodle's Pastry Shop, and it featured Norman's noodle pie and Sally's delicious Stroodle noodle cake. They had 2 kids. Their daughter was named Brianna Brainy Boodle. Their son was named Ricky Wackadoodle. Norman and Sally tried to teach their kids the secrets to making delicious pies and cakes out of noodles. But no matter how many times they tried, the kids showed no interest and could never ever get it right. Sally Stroodle would complain to Brianna, "You know this isn't brain surgery." Norman would scold Ricky Rockadoodle, "You know, this isn't rocket science." In fact, these became common refrains in the Noodle Stroodle household. If any task was not completed to their satisfaction, Sally Stroodle would say, "You know, this isn't brain surgery." Norman Noodle would say, "You know, this isn't rocket science." However, Brianna Brainy Boodle's true passion was brain surgery. Brianna would go to her Uncle Herbie's laboratory, and he would explain how he came to inventing the Snoodle. "For years, I did all these brain operations. I finally realized that the brain was not so different than a bowl of noodles. I realized that when people said they were using their noodle, they were talking about brain power. I then thought, if noodles provide the intelligence for our brains, perhaps it can be applied to modes of transportation." After years in my laboratory, the Snoodle was born. It is because the noodle brain detects the smell of noodles in the air. The Snoodle provides the ultimate happiness. One day, I want to be a great brain surgeon like you were. This is what I call the Snoodle Zoomadoodle. It will take us all across the galaxy. There is one problem. I have tried every noodle imaginable, and I cannot get it to go fast enough for space travel. Ricky Rockadoodle was very interested in rocket science and loved to visit his Uncle Sour at his cafe. When the cafe was closed, Uncle Sour would take Ricky Rockadoodle to the back and show off his next great invention. This is my greatest invention ever. I call it the prickly, peppered, purple, propulsion-powered pickle. I started with just a simple propulsion-powered pickle, which you can stick in any Snoodle. But with the prickly, peppered, purple propulsion-powered pickle, we can achieve space travel 10 times faster than the speed of light. Think of it. We will now be able to explore galaxies far beyond our own. But I will never work with that brother of mine, your Uncle Herbie. One day, Brianna and Ricky came home from school and found a note waiting for them. It said, "We have abducted your parents, and they are now safe on our spaceship, the Zoodle Kidoodle. We are from the planet Zoodle. Once your parents perform brain surgery on our leader, Cloodle the Grand Roodle, and make repairs to our rockets on the Zoodle Kidoodle spaceship, they will be returned safe and sound. Meanwhile, you can observe your parents by simply going to our website, www.zoodle.gov/theabduction/livestream. Sincerely yours, Evil Kidoodle. P.S. Your mom says that there's a Stroodle noodle cake in the fridge." Meanwhile, on the Zoodle Kidoodle, Evil Kidoodle was welcoming Norman Noodle and Sally Stroodle. "You are now on our spaceship, the Zoodle Kidoodle. My name is Evil Kidoodle. My associates here are Voodoo Kidoodle, Doo-Doo Kidoodle, and Dr. Quack Kidoodle. The reason we have brought you here is that for centuries, the Zoodles have had the greatest brain surgeons and rocket scientists in the galaxy. Unfortunately, they were proud and started to poo-poo everyone else. When they looked at anyone else's accomplishments, they would say, you know, it isn't brain surgery, and, you know, it isn't rocket science. Soon, everyone became afraid to become brain surgeons and rocket scientists, and now we have none left. What does that have to do with us? The rockets on our spaceship are failing, and we cannot return to Zoodle until they are fixed. We have made many attempts, but we have failed. We monitored many planets, and we learned that both of you like to poo-poo everyone by saying the same thing about brain surgery and rocket science. So we determined that you two, just like our planet centuries ago, possess the knowledge of brain surgery and rocket science. Also, our great leader, Cloodle the Grand Roodle, has unfortunately come down with a rare disease of the brain. It's called genius brain. This is similar to what you humans call athlete's foot. It's a fungus of the brain. First, the person affected shows superior genius mental powers, but then the brain fizzles out. I am afraid that Cloodle, the Grand Roodle of Planet Zoodle, is now just a wackadoodle. Here, you can both view him on the giant monitor. You can see him in the rubber room of our spaceship. Cloodle, the Grand Roodle, did appear to be a bit of a wackadoodle. He was just sitting on the floor, dressed in diapers, doodling with crayons, and just muttering, ba 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 ba. anything about brain surgery or rocket science. We are simple bakers. It's just a saying we use. You have to let us go. You have made a big mistake. We thought you may be reluctant. This is why, above over the atmosphere of your planet Earth, we have placed several giant Wackadoodles. We use Wackadoodles to vacuum valuable resources from other planets that allow Zoodle to thrive. We have put a setting on the Wackadoodles to vacuum up all the noodles on your planet until it is left completely and utterly noodleless. Unless you agree to comply, we will begin the noodle vacuuming process in 48 hours. And as for the fate of you two, Zoodle Kidoodles will explain. I have 2 dolls. One is named Norman Noodle, and the other I have named Sally Stroodle. I have a wet noodle in my pocket, and I will take the wet noodle and go tickle, 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 tickle. Both Norman and Sally started to laugh uncontrollably. Zoodle Kidoodles then abruptly stopped. The laughing stopped as well. Now, if you do not comply, I will have some spaghetti that is uncooked and a bit stiff. If I poke the spaghetti through the 2 dolls, both of you will be feeling a bit more than just heartburn. You got us. I'm a rocket scientist and Sally is in fact a brain surgeon. But we are not the most brilliant. Norman, what are you saying? Excuse my wife. Whilst we possess the knowledge, we are not the best. We need both tools and assistance. We will have to summon our 2 kids and my 2 brothers, Herbie Snoodleman and Sour Croodleman. They have some new technology that even we do not know about. You deserve only the best, I assure you. They are the best you can find in the galaxy. We will give you back your phone so you may make contact. They can come to our spaceship in a Snoodle equipped for space travel, but they have to arrive within 48 hours. Also, you may ask what that awful smell is. It did cross our minds. It is Doo-Doo Kidoodle. Doo-Doo does not do much, but we Zoodles like the smell. We understand that, for Earthlings, he smells a bit like doo-doo. Doo-Doo Kidoodle will stand guard. After the Zoodles left the room, before they even managed to call their kids, Brianna Brainy Broodle and Ricky Rockadoodle had called their parents. We saw everything on the live stream. I am going over right now to Uncle Herbie's. Ricky will go over to Uncle Sour. With the planet at stake, we will get them back together and be up with you in a flash. Uncle Sour will go for this. With the prickly peppered purple propulsion powered pickle, we will zoom to the Zoodle Kidoodle in no time. Please hurry, it smells like a big doo-doo up here. Brianna Brainy Broodle and Ricky Rockadoodle quickly sped off on their kids' SnoodleMobiles to see their uncles. Ricky Rockadoodle and Brianna Brainy Broodle quickly went to visit their uncles to explain the dire situation. They are threatening to take away all the world's noodles. Here is my revenge. How sour! My Krautmobile will once again sell like hot noodle cakes. What about my parents and Uncle Sour? If the prickly peppered purple propulsion powered pickle works, you will be a hero. Well, why are you standing around, boy? Get those pickles from the fridge. I am afraid to say that the only way we could get up the Zoodle Kidoodle spaceship in time is if we could use a Snoodle powered with a prickly peppered purple propulsion powered pickle. Your Uncle Sour will never agree to help. At that moment, there was a knock at the door. Sure enough, there stood Ricky Rockadoodle, Sour Croodleman, and his poodle Schmoodle. I hear that somebody needs some pickles for a little trip. I also packed some sandwiches. Together with Schmoodle the Poodle, the 4 ran out to the special Snoodle that was developed for space travel. Sour Croodleman inserted one of his special prickly pickles, and in a flash, they blasted off into space and quickly were able to land on the Zoodle Kidoodle. Herbie Snoodleman and Brianna Brady Boodle were led to see Cloodle, the Grand Poodle of the planet Zoodle. Equipment was set up, and Cloodle, the Grand Poodle, was ready for surgery. Herbie Snoodleman said to Brianna, "You will do this operation." "Only with your help, Uncle Herbie," replied Brianna. "Linguine, a few raviolis, angel hair for the stitching, a bowl of macaroni and cheese." After a couple of hours, Cloodle the Grand Poodle was all stitched up and resting. Meanwhile, in the engine room, "Uncle Sour, you won't believe this. Their engines are fueled by a combination of noodles and sauerkraut. With the Pickle adapter, I can just install the prickly peppered purple propulsion Pickle. That should get them back to Zoodle." "Attaboy, you're sounding like a real rocket scientist." After the success of Brianna Brainy Boodle and Ricky Rockadoodle, everyone was united together, where Norman Noodle and Sally Stroodle were being held captive. There were hugs all around. However, this was interrupted when the Zoodles entered the room, led by Stroodle, the Grand Poodle of the planet Zoodle. "I want to personally thank you for successfully repairing my brain. Also, our engineers have checked the engines now that the prickly peppered purple pickles have been installed and have advised us that they were able to go back to our planet Zoodle. We have removed the Wackadoodles from Earth's atmosphere, and the Earth can keep all of its noodles. So we can all go home now? I am afraid that is not possible. You see, we will need your services to help train other Zoodles to be brain surgeons and rocket scientists. Plus, I did get a chance to taste both the noodle pie and Stroodle noodle cake. They were both so delicious, and we will need training for that as well." "How long will you require us to perform this training?" "It will not be long. After 100 years, we will return all of you back to your planet." 100 years? We will miss out on high school! Except for the poodle named Schmoodle. You see, on the planet Zoodle, we do not allow pets. Cloodle, the Grand Poodle, then turned to Zoodle Kidoodle and instructed him to take Schmoodle the poodle and put him back in the Snoodle. However, the poodle loved the smell of doo-doo so much, he started uncontrollably licking him. Schmoodle then started going into a spinning happy dance. Fumes of sauerkraut came off Schmoodle, forming into a cloud above the Zoodles. Ah! The Zoodles, not used to the smell of sauerkraut, quickly fell asleep. Sensing an opportunity, Herbie Snoodleman cried, "Back to the Snoodle!" They all jumped into the Snoodle, and before any Zoodles regained consciousness, they escaped from the Zoodle Kidoodle spaceship and were quickly heading back to Earth. 2 weeks later, Brianna Brainy Boodle and Ricky Rockadoodle were both presented with keys to the city for their heroism in saving the planet. When asked whether they found it difficult to save a planet, Brianna Brady Boodle and Ricky Rockadoodle simply said, "It was a piece of cake. It was easy as pie." Then someone asked where Herbie Snoodleman and Sour Croodleman were. Nobody knew exactly. You see, Herbie Snoodleman and Sour Croodleman were already back in space together, on their next great adventure. Five years later, Sour Croodleman opened up the prickly peppered purple propulsion powered Pickle Museum of Space Exploration. It quickly became the hottest ticket in town. The end. So what did you think about today's book? That was one crazy wacky adventure, wasn't it? Boy, and all those tongue twisters. What a fun book to read. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful book. I want to say a great big thank you to Stephen Joseph for this really fun book about Snoodles in space. There's one more thing that we always do at the end of every show. Magic glasses. Magic glasses lets me see some of my friends who came to play. Maybe I'll see you today. Magic glasses, that's the way. Show me my friends who came to play. Okay, now everyone smile and wave and let me see if I see you. Well, I see Martin. There's Susan and Eric. Well, hi, Betsy and Kelly. Well, there's Randy and Roseanne. Well, hi, Melanie. Well, there's Marcus and Roxy and Terrence. Hi, Colette and Gregory and William and Georgia. Well, I see a lot of my friends looking and waving at me. Did I see you today? If not, maybe I'll see you next time. Make sure you check back soon, because we'll be adding a bunch of new shows every week. Make sure you have an adult. Click on the subscribe button right here. That way you won't miss any of the fun. Moms and dads, make sure you visit the Storytime Pup website to sign up for our great free giveaways. We have giveaways for books, CDs, DVDs, t-shirts, and other great stuff. Sign up just once, and you'll have a chance for all the drawings to come. And kids, don't forget to tell your friends about Storytime Pup. And before I go, here's a great big hug for all my friends. Thanks for stopping by to play. I'll see you real soon. Bye now.